Our story begins in January of 2016, when 6 strangers were thrown into each other's lives by a monumental semester-long group project. Sky, Natalie, Dairuvi, Sam, and Ashley immediately came together. When a fellow member mysteriously vanished from the class roster, they were poised with the question, "Where's Justin?" They had a brand of cohesiveness rarely seen in other groups, until one fateful week in March, where everything fell apart.
You know, early on, the members of the team really seemed to fit well together. It quickly became the norm to show your sense of humor, creativity, etc., etc. But, it also was the norm to regularly participate, communicate continuously, brainstorm, come up with more creative things through that brainstorming. And volunteerism actually was quite common, and so was role rotation. But, now looking back on those first few weeks, it probably, I wish we would have maybe considered a little bit less of the whole volunteerism thing, because it became a major problem. And democratic decision making doesn't really do much if we don't have a leader, to tell us what to do next. I don't know, it's great and all to have a say in what happens, but when you have no one to organize everyone, they have no clue what's going on.
That was motivational theory. Um, what the hell happened?
For understanding about what we were going to be presented on, what part of that whole task we were supposed to be presenting on. I think we were prepared for something and it wasn't actually what we were presenting.
Yeah. I tried to incorporate everything. A lot of the things on Google Docs were repetition, so that's why we used the table to really put. Yeah.
To heart. Really, we were operating under miscommunication of the project itself, because there were so many different factors that went into that. I mean, you had to go to Sakai 5 or 6 times and relate back to other directions and how to use it. So we had the information, but we were not using it correctly for his instructions. And I feel bad because we sent you up there with information that we had researched and done work on, but it was, we were fed up. We just couldn't do it anymore. We were fed up with the assignments, the due dates. Everything was just falling apart for us. We didn't know what direction we wanted to take next. We had such a breakdown of communication, and there was such a lack of leadership that after a while we questioned, how are we going to get this done?
Many of the members displayed task-oriented and relationship-oriented behaviors. We all got along really well, and we shared a shared leadership role where one person would take the initiative and become the leader of that one activity we were doing. But we actually fell apart because of that. We expected too much of each other, and sooner or later, we started depending on one person to take the lead, and our group just fell apart.
Necesitamos un líder.
I'll say, we didn't have a leader. We had no set person to go to, and I think we need someone that will delegate authority properly and will get us in the right direction. Because that whole deal with that case with the Google document, I mean, it was a free-for-all. We all had good ideas. We had no idea how to put them together. And for our final presentation, we really need to get everything down. We need information at our fingertips. And I think that's really the only way we're going to survive the final presentation is if we have a leader.
For this project, Sky took the initiative and became our leader so we don't fall apart like we did on our motivation theories exercise. Sky, with his supportive and directive behavior, was able to bring our group together and lead us to do a better job on this project than we did on our last exercise that we did in class.
Since our failure in that presentation, we've really upped our game when it comes to communication. When we need to do things online, we have a plan, we have focus. Whereas before, it was very scattered. That is no more. When we have our face-to-face meetings, now we each have a say in what happens. Everyone has their own voice. And all of that miscommunication has all but disappeared.
Good. The norm to have more we value consensus instead of just voting, it's vote when there's a voting process of okay, all in favor of this.
To some degree, there is group cohesiveness in Where's Justin. We often look for a subject matter expert in the group to instruct us on group tasks, like Sky, who has a lot of real-world work experience in different areas. Group conflict is inevitable, and for that reason, it is resolved through accommodation. For example, When a person does not want to step up and be a group leader, they must work on other difficult tasks instead. Our group is high on group efficacy because all our team members are optimistic and have positive attitudes about our outcomes. This is important because it helps enhance other aspects like leadership, motivation, and performance. There are many ways to maintain a positive ambience in the group. And one of them is by allowing every member to really have a choice on what they want to incorporate on the task. Samantha Boris created some guidelines for the group, like going around and saying our ideas one by one. Democratic decision making is a way for the group to feel comfortable, even those that are shy and do not like to speak up. When a conflict occurs, such that group members have opposing views, a last resort to resolve the problem would be to have a vote on it. Before anything, we try to come to a consensus and come to a full agreement on what will be done. A consensus in our group is done by sitting down and discussing the topic thoroughly, giving everyone a chance to speak, and using other resources, such as articles, textbooks, and YouTube videos. Ashley Lombardi usually brings her laptop to class and accommodates the group with outside resources.
It's falling off very quickly now. Okay, I'm just taking it off. I'm a